the other question is obviously they spent quite a lot of money in the summer and he's got a very deep squad. In fact, I think he's got the best and most balanced squad in the Premier League. But yet, Ben White's only played a handful of games. Yeah. Norgard could have started last night in place of Zubimendi, didn't do so.
But he looked brilliant last night, Ben White.
Madueke came into the starting lineup. He's been out for a little while and he was absolutely terrific last night. So, maybe he did need to rotate a little bit. He could have rested Declan Rice last night and played Norgard. He chose not to do that.
I mean, I think he's right to play his best team to keep on cementing the opportunities that are in front of him, not do what Chelsea did.
But that's a choice.
It is a choice, which is why you want him to be quiet. But they're not going to. We've seeded this into their mentality. Now, we've indulged it, we patronised it, we lionise it, we turn around and give it sympathy and empathy, and we debate it rather than saying, shut up and get on with it. And the fact that we haven't done that in the past, and certain sections of the media will turn around and empathise with it without actually providing the counterbalance argument as to why it happens and what the benefits of being a big club are, that you've now seeded it into the mentality. You've now seeded it into the mentality that we've seeded it into football players' mentality. They mustn't be criticised. Because if they're criticised, it's unfair. If they're praised, it's okay. But if you criticise them, then it's unfair. It's hating. Not hating, it's called criticism. You get both in equal measure if people are fair in society. So the point is that, he could have changed. I mean, Ben White's an unfortunate set of circumstances. They turned him into a right back, then they've got a better right back. And then they've got centre backs that now he can't displace.
That's football though, right?
But that's football. But he, and never was a more deserving individual. Couldn't be bothered to play for England. But the fact is that you've now got him back in the side looking like a world-class player, which he was last night. I thought he looked great last night. Ben, didn't you?
I thought going forward he was great. I thought some of his crossing a little bit awry.
Oh, okay.
But that's probably rustiness.
Yes.
I thought the combination with Madueke was very impressive.
Indeed it was.
And I thought they probably should have won by more. They should have been in front by half
time. Job done.
Extra.
But a job
Absolutely.
done.
But you can see at the end of it, and I watched it, I was there, so at the end of it, they're all collapsing onto the floor because the physical output has been so hard. Yeah. Because Brentford made them work, and Brentford did a good job last night.
And that's right, and that's their job, because they can't match them technically, so they have to match them with other things and make them work and make these teams beat you, not give it to them. I mean, the interesting thing about Arteta, I don't know what, to Arsenal fans, I think what Arteta's done as a job at Arsenal has been fabulous without actually winning very much. Because we talk about Arsenal and their fan base and the library that it had become, and I went and watched Arsenal a couple of times, and you see the curation of a completely different attitude, because the team's there and the team are giving you something to cheer, but you're still not winning anything, and you have to win something.
I kind of want them to win something.
So do I, but I find Arteta at times slightly irksome.
Do you?
And so do you, if you're honest. Right?
I get on with him quite well, actually.
Well, it's some of the ideas of what he complains about, then, not his personality, because he does whine and bitch and moan and doesn't see things. And ultimately, we saw the situation last night when Arsenal played Newcastle. We see things that he complains about, which you kind of think it was the ball last year when they played in the Carabao Cup. It was the bleeding balls. We're not used to playing with these balls, which is why our forwards kept whacking the ball 50 yards over the bar, and that sort of stuff gets on people's nerves. And if you're honest, it probably will get on your nerves. If you want to stay in a good camp with him, so you can interview him next time, then you go ahead with that.
No, we had a bit of back and forth last night, actually, over the schedule.
I think he's done a good job. I think he's got to win something, and I think that I think this season is a telling season for him. Not because I want
validation for the project as well, isn't it?
Oh. This idea of a project...
you would like to invest in a manager and not have to keep chopping and changing.
Yes, of course. But it depends what your blueprint is. You've now turned Arsenal into a competitive team that is no longer in a sort of managed decline, which was happening until Kroenke decided, A, he was going to invest more, and B, they got rid of Usmanov, right? And Usmanov put his shares up for sale for whatever reason he decided to do that. And once he got control of that and they put Josh in situ and they started to drive Arsenal again and stop thinking about it as a sort of arm's length subsidiary of American businesses and see it for what it was, Arsenal have prospered. But you cannot, if you're an Arsenal, and part and parcel, we know now that once upon a time competing could make you worth something valuable. We now know that winning is also a big formula for capital value, because if people want to look at the value of Manchester City, they've won things. As a brand, they're building up to catch up with the Uniteds and Liverpools of the world, and they're not far from it now because they've kept on winning. But it's winning that's catapulted their capital value. And the idea that Tottenham have got to a certain value, and then Lewis family have gone, actually, if we actually won a few bloody things, we could actually increase the capital value. Now, with Arsenal, it's wonderful that they're now a side that participates in the top four again, which is what was criticised of Arsene Wenger, and he's achieved it as a staple diet. But to be a successful football team, they have to win something. And Arteta, 6 years into a tenure, can't just deliver one FA Cup with someone else's team.
And he's a winner. That's what he says. He won the FA Cup. But he says he's a winner.
With someone else's team.
And he's got a dog that he calls Win as well.
Or Wine, if it's about players' welfare.
Rodgers cross. Chance! Oh, have they not scored? Buendia! Kamara! Oh no, handball! Buendia!
Oh my God.
Gonna win it!
I can't believe that.
Wow, doing a full
will sprint the full length of the pitch. Aston Villa 2, Arsenal 1.
Oh my God.
Time at Villa Park. Wow.
Absolute bedlam at Villa Park. Aston Villa have scored in the 95th minute. There was, what even happened there?
It was a proper old school goal mouth scramble.
Oh my God, you just love to see that. Unbelievable. That is it. That's what we live for, isn't it? That's what we want to see, lads. Proper title race. Oh, I'm just concerned that that's going to get ruled out for something.
You know what?
I'm just concerned.
A lot was going on.
It felt like the ball was just in and around the box for like a minute. But what we do know is Emi Buendia has side-footed the ball into the back of the net. I'll try and tell you what happened here. Marlon has the ball inside the box. It comes across the face, across in to Sancho. Great save by the goalkeeper. Then there's like 2 or 3 attempts on goal. Arsenal clear. Arsenal block, but can't clear. It then just falls to Buendia. And the finish from Buendia is perfection. James, how are you feeling? What do you make of that?
I'm gutted. That is devastating. And you know what? On the bounce, that second half, Villa deserve it, to be honest. I thought the first half, when they were 1-0 up, I actually thought we'd had a good first half. Unfortunate to go down at half-time 1-0. But they've deserved it this second half. And they've won the game, and deservedly so, because we were such a mess defensively. Look, we kind of had chances to go 2-1 up, but we didn't have... Football's so weird. I thought we had more control of the game at 1-0 down in the first half than we ever did in that second half. And yeah, it's blown the title race wide open.
Full time at Villa Park. It is all over in a thoroughly entertaining game of football. Aston Villa have beaten Arsenal. Villa took the lead after 36 minutes. Matty Count scoring. Arsenal equalised early in the second half with Trossard. It was a really good, entertaining game of football. Emi Buendia, in an amazing moment right at the end, scores a 95th minute winner for Aston Villa. Aston Villa's remarkable recent form continues. They're up to second in the Premier League table, 3 points behind Arsenal. Arsenal lose for just the second time this season. Abby, so many people thought, and myself included, that Arsenal were going to run away with this title. And look, they're still going to be the favourites, but in Arsenal's last 5 league games, a draw with Sunderland, a draw with Chelsea, they've now lost to Aston Villa. And if City win, they go 2 points behind them. This feels, Abby, like a massive day in the title race.
Huge. Listen, I haven't had many happy days this season supporting my own team, so I can only really have special moments like this that blow us a title race wide open. We just need to make sure that obviously Manchester City do their job today, because there has been so much inconsistency. But I said it to you a few weeks ago, if anybody can stay within distance of Arsenal going into that second half of the season, then we are in for a shout. And not only that, if you're a neutral in this, granted I'm probably not a neutral, I'm probably not best to talk about that, but you do want to see a title race. I don't want to see what we've seen over the last few years where it has just been one team that's run away with it. I want to see why the Premier League is so good, the best teams battling at it and not just rolling over every single week for Arsenal, and like not giving energy and not putting up a fight against them. And credit to Villa, and I'll give them, credit to Chelsea last week as well. Probably unfortunate with what happened with the red card, because we could have seen a very, very good competitive game, even more so with 11 men. But today, I genuinely don't think that Villa were poor. I think that Villa could have won this game if they would have had more quality in the final third earlier on, potentially. I think they battled really well. Second half, they did drop off in patches and at times. But I thought it was a good game. I thought it was a very high energy level. I thought pressing was really good. And I'm just absolutely over the moon. I'm over the moon, to be honest with you.
James, what do you make of that game from an Arsenal point of view? How would you sum it all up? How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's gutting, because a point would have been disappointing in itself, but you kind of take some positives out of it. I think sometimes it's not just losing, it's the way you lose. I don't mean a 95th minute winner. I mean Nketiah basically just getting in front of the defender, or the attacker, sorry, just needs to boot it down the line. You defend a throw in from their half and you're all right. The fact that he's basically taken a heavy touch and now we're defending, in an area of the pitch that we didn't need to, it's just so frustrating. I don't know. It's a bad day. We haven't had many this season. Probably Liverpool's the last time I felt like this, and that was back in August. So, if you're spacing these bad days every 4 or 5 months, you're probably going to be fine. But, I don't even think we played badly today. But Villa, that second half, took advantage of a very pulled apart Arsenal back four who were just defending as individuals, not as a collective. And when you do that, you're prone to some individual quality winning the game. And Villa stuck it on us at the end there, and they deserve the win.
Have you seen any sort of change in Arsenal's, not just today, but over the last 5 games? Because it was, lots of people just thought, can Arsenal the title now? And I still think Arsenal are the strongest team in this league, and I still think Arsenal are going to win the league. But again, City can get to 2 points. You've only won 2, you lost 5 league games. Have you noticed any difference in the kind of consistency in the performances over the last few weeks, or is it just tough games against tough teams?
When we went that run on 8 clean sheets, it wasn't just about teams not scoring; it's about teams barely getting shots against us. What we saw at Chelsea was, even though Raya didn't have too much to do, it was a very open game, which I didn't like. This a very open game, but this time Raya was really, really worked by Aston Villa, and probably if Chelsea had kept 11 men on the pitch, it would have been the same there. Sunderland definitely stuck it on us and caused us problems, so we're not handling these sort of big away games particularly well for whatever reason. Look, no one wants to hear it, and I get it. It's a very expensively assembled squad. We've got a brilliant squad. It's tough without Saliba and Gabriel. You are, and I'm not just talking about missing your 2 starting centre-backs. I'm talking, we went in with another brand new pairing again today in Timrin and Capiev, and you play an hour against Brentford at home. I've said this so many times, for whatever reason, I think because we've been 5 points clear, 6 points clear, people have sort of taken it as like, yeah, okay, sounds nice. The best teams, the ones who've won titles, I keep saying you can name 9, 10 players they're starting 11 because they went out week in, week out. Arsenal right now are constantly patching up different positions all the time. We need to get these players fit. We need to get consistency. We need to get momentum. Before a ball was kicked today, I was actually congratulating the team for even being 5 points clear of City with the injuries we've had. Whatever happens at the end of this weekend, we'll still be top of the league. But we need to get Saliba back. We need to hope Gabriel's not too long. And even if you're going to have injuries, everyone's having them. Every team can point to that. But we just need to get something of a spine out there. Gyökeres, Zubimendi, Ødegaard back in the team would be great. Your centre-back starting. And you know what? You're going to change the full-backs every now and again, or the wingers. But to have our spine constantly picked at has been disappointing. But that's not the reason we lost today. Because today, for me, there was a structural issue. We were far too open. And I think even with the players on the pitch, you can get into 2 banks of 4. You can be compact. You can be difficult to break down. And we weren't that either. So for the wider talk of the Premier League, we need some players back. For today, that was just disappointing with the individuals we had.
Are you starting to worry now?
But I was never too secure. I was confident that we were playing at a level which
we surprised at how many people are almost saying, in November it's done, give it to Arsenal.
Yeah, but let me not pretend I wasn't confident, because I was. I felt the way we played that second half against Sunderland, and a lot of how we played today. I look at us and I go, wow, we're a very, very good side. But there's been, and actually I hate using this against Arsenal because I think it's lazy, but I think there's been something of a slight mentality issue with the way we've handled Sunderland and Chelsea and Villa away. And as individual
Explain
games...
that in detail, please, because that's something that lots of people have mentioned with Arsenal. And I've actually gone the other way and thought they're going to be a year older, a year wiser, a year more experienced. But that's interesting for you, James.
I wouldn't have said it for the one-off games. But when it's 3 back-to-back away Premier League games, I think you've got to look at why have we at moments had control of these games, and then at moments it slipped away from us. Why have we looked quite open? Why have we looked like teams have been able to play 1 or 2 passes and get behind us quite easily? That Sunderland game, I talk about how brilliant we were in the second half against Sunderland, but there were 2-3 moments where they were just through on goal in that second half through a couple passes.
Is that a mentality issue, or is that a coaching structural issue?
We had Saliba and Gabriel on the pitch against Sunderland, so I don't know with that. With Chelsea, they had 10 men.
So you're saying in that Sunderland game, using that as an example, which is what, in mid-November at the time it would have been Hall Park, that already Arsenal are mentally overthinking things and mentally not going into games with a clear game plan?
I don't think it's a mentality towards winning the titles. I genuinely think these teams go. I think every team in the league, we're here in the media, we talk about the wider context every time. I think players go out and they just look at what's in front of them in terms of the opposition. So I don't think it's about the weight of winning the Premier League, because even losing today was still top. I think it's more the weight of Aston Villa have been physical. I imagine the crowd was lively. Chelsea, we know, with the tifo and the fireworks and everything before, and then suddenly this team are aggressive and they get onto you, and you're not able to play the way you wanted to maybe the first 10 minutes. I think Arsenal, at their best, look at that second half against Bayern Munich. We had them in a stranglehold. We were all over them. Tottenham for 90 minutes, we were all over them. Now, I appreciate at home it's easier, but why away? Against good sides, Sunderland, Chelsea, Villa, very good sides. But why did we... You see that second half after we equalised? Villa suddenly had all the ball.
This is something
then we wrestled back control.
I have said though for weeks about the mentality, because it's not about saying that you can't do it. It's just whether or not you can do it, because you haven't actually got over the line yet. Yes, you look like the best team, but any time I have seen a team, which has not been often this season, which is why I was so excited by the Chelsea game, and I was so annoyed, obviously, Caicedo getting sent off, because I genuinely do believe that Chelsea would have actually won that game, the way that the crowd was and the way that I hadn't seen you be so open at all in that midfield. I saw Declan Rice dropping so incredibly deep because he obviously didn't trust that back line to be able to do that, because it wasn't your normal partnership.
Yeah, that's true.
So he was taken out. He was a lot deeper. But when I see you go up against or come to places that have got a lot of energy, a lot of intensity, teams that want to go in hard and challenge you, I haven't seen proof yet that you do have the minerals and the mentality to do that. Now, when I called you out on that and I said, I still don't know if Arsenal will win the league, they probably will, but it's about the mentality. I said that probably in October, and the amount of comments and what people say is I'm just a hater. It's not, because there isn't proof. There's no proof in the pudding yet, because you haven't done anything. You haven't got over the line. You know, for example, we can go back to Real Madrid last season. Incredible performance, to the point that even I wanted to compliment you and say, you know, fair play, better team. But you didn't win the Champions League that night. But the way in which Arsenal and the bigger community celebrated that, it was as if you had won the Champions League.
Yeah, but you're allowed to celebrate
of course you're allowed,
quarter-final win over Real Madrid.
Of course you're allowed to celebrate it, but the job wasn't done. The job wasn't done. The performance wasn't good enough against PSG. The mentality wasn't there for me against PSG.
They also did lose to an unbelievable PSG team.
Sure, but go back and watch that performance, how they performed against PSG. It was a letdown. The mentality wasn't there. So until I see
was that a mentality thing, or did they just lose to the best team in the world?
No, I think Arsenal, their mentality was not there that night.
By the way, what about Aston Villa?
Unbelievable!
I went on air. I've done the Chelsea game, went on air. Honestly, it was so funny. It was so good.
Unbelievable.
I messaged you straight away, didn't I? Straight away. Got to see it. Laughing
I messaged you. I messaged Gabby straight away.
I got to message Gabby as well. We got Gabby on. I said, come on. Get yourself on, Gabs.
Gabby is coming on. He promised me he's going to come on. I don't know if he was... when I spoke to him, he was getting mad.
I bet he was. I bet he was.
You know what? Right? I feel quite bad because I celebrated when they scored.
Why do you feel bad?
Well, because, you know, I'm a Tottenham fan. I just was like...
What do you mean? No, hold on. Why do you feel bad?
Because it's not my team, is
it? You were on Man City shirt at the end of last season, a couple of seasons ago.
When they scored...
Jay,
I was just about to leave the house, right?
Jay,
I was just getting ready.
Don't make me laugh,
I thought,
mate.
I can't leave, just in case, right? And I'm just walking out the door. My missus is like... Come on, you're going to miss the train. I'm like, I can't leave. And then bang, they score. I'm like, Villa have scored.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
It was so funny.
My missus turns around to me, she goes, you support Tottenham.
Yeah, that's fine. You can all celebrate someone else's demise. That's fine. Don't even go there, mate. You wore a Man City shirt.
Let's go to Harry. He's a Villa fan. All right, H.
Up the Villa.
Hello, how are we?
I'm all right.
Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.
Man, I don't
Liven
know
up.
What is going on?
Liven up.
You what, sorry?
Liven up, H.
Mate, I'm on cloud nine. It's unexplainable, to be honest. Last time I spoke with you, Per, it was Villa rusty or stale. And now it's...
Oh, your line's no good, H.
Line's rusty and stale.
Yeah, I think I need more from a Villa fan. You're going to come on.
Come on.
Let's go to Jez, who's a Villa fan. Jez.
All right, Jez.
All right, lads, how are you?
I'm all right, matey. How are you?
I can't believe I've got on. I'm just sitting in the car listening. Oh, well, come on.
Yeah, unbelievable. What a day.
Incredible atmosphere there again. You know, that's, one defeat in 31 games. I was on last week on Majestic's show. But, I mean, I think we got the best defensive, or two of the best defensive midfield players in the league at the moment. Tielemans, what a game, and Kamara alongside him.
I know. Tielemans today was outstanding. Look, when I saw him at Leicester, right, I wasn't that blown away, to be honest. I thought it was a little bit one of those that got packaged together, plays for Belgium, puts in the odd good performance. Since he's gone to Villa, I've got to tell you, his levels have risen. He's the real deal, the boy, and it's all clicking. It's all clicking.
Well, I think the manager's coaching them, isn't he? He's getting something out of the players.
Yeah.
You know, the longer they're with him, the longer they're around him, you just see the subtle improvements all the time.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't a side that could win games coming from behind. We are today. There's a resilience there. There's an
never went
underbelly.
behind, though.
There's a belief. Not today we didn't, but we have this season, haven't we?
But can I just say, how good is Rodgers again today? You can see why Thomas Tuchel has got Rodgers right at the right front and centre. He was outstanding today. He was outstanding today, Rodgers.
Well, I think Keown gave Odegaard man of the match. I thought Odegaard.
Do me a favour. He never did.
Keown gave him man of the match.
Yeah, go on, lads. He did, apparently.
No, he didn't.
Don't mention it.
Who was he working for? Oh, he was on TNT.
On TNT.
He gave Odegaard man of the match.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Come on. Come on, help me.
Yeah, it's unacceptable. It's
Man
unacceptable.
of the match. What did he do?
And nothing.
So, so lads, I think we've got, you know, the key here is that we had big hangovers from Champions League last season. We were carrying a lot of injuries early season, and we haven't had that this season. We got more squad depth, and you're seeing it now. Again, I said the other night, we've won 5 games on the spin coming back from the Europa League in Premier League, and we lost 4 in a row last season. So yeah, there's improvement all around.
Can you win the league?
Okay, we're not playing.
Jez, can you win the league?
Can we listen? Oh, come on, lads. I'm not going to say title at the moment. Do you know what? The objective's got to be Champions League football for the club, and I tell you why. If we win the Europa League, we'll make 40 million quid.
Yeah.
Newcastle will make 70 to 80 million from the league phase in the Champions League.
Yeah.
The next argument I've got is the new...
Sorry, that wasn't the question, how much money you make. That was... I don't know how you've managed to work into the... Simon Jordan doesn't work on this show.
I do, though.
No. Come on. That wasn't the question, right? And I know it's a horrible question because everyone throws at me and I said we can't win. The question from Jamie was...
Can you win the league?
Right, we'll go about our business quietly. Is that Jamie I'm talking to?
You're still not answering the question.
Can you win the league?
Listen, I'm an optimist. So yes, we can win the league.
There you go. That was it.
That's all I wanted.
Wasn't that hard to answer, was it? Actually, when you think about it.
Finally, we're 50, but we got 38 games, right? And we're only 15 in. But we've got the squad to do it, and we've got a belief.
Yeah.
And we've also got...
You got a manager.
One of the best managers in Europe.
You have. You got an unbelievable manager.
I mean, if you had to ask me right here, right now, right, I would say no, they can't win the league.
No.
I would say that.
That
right?
would be my argument as well. But I'll tell you what.
But then I see Onana come. I mean, just today, they were the better side against Arsenal. And they've been outplayed twice, by the way. We outplayed them at our place. We're down 10 men. They got outplayed today. And they've out of those 2 games, they picked up 1 point.
He was a happy bunny, and he said he was going to come on, and he has come on. Gabby Agbonlahor.
On the Villa!
All right, Gabby!
I'm alive. I'm sorry, 1 second, sorry. Stupid song. 1 second. If you ever, whatever the weather. Up the Arsenal.
Oh, Gabs, how are you, son?
Oh, Jamie. Man City come, they get beaten at Villa Park. Arsenal come, Arsenal, do me a favour. They get demolished. Get out of here. Who's next? Chelsea, do you want it?
Oh, we'll take you on, Gabs.
Do you want it?
Yeah, we'll have a Club World Champions, Gab.
Who wants it,
Club World Champions,
mate. Jace, bring it on. Anyone can get it at Villa Park, mate. Yeah. Anybody.
Yeah, you were good today, mate.
You were good.
I was messaging you during the game as well. It's like, how good was Rodgers?
Ooh.
How good Gab? How good was Rodgers today?
Rodgers was playing like he's playing in the 5-a-side league in Power League, mate. Having fun, trying to nutmeg players. Timber was all over the place. Timber. Do us a favour, lads. Deary me.
Yeah. Gabs, talk me through Arsenal, though. Bottled it.
Jamie, this is what I say, mate. We had Joe Bella, or Baya, whatever his name is, on the show the other week, giving it the big lick, saying it'll be done by April. Arsenal fans are unbearable. Nobody wants Arsenal to win the Premier League. Aston Villa today says, neither do we, mate. Arsenal, you're not winning the league. 3 points behind them now. What are Man City 2 points behind them? Watch them start jittering now, boys.
Gabs, listen, wait there because he's got some breaking news here from Alex Crook. All the details of England's World Cup whereabouts. Alex.
Yeah, good evening, boys. I tell you what, if you thought the ceremony for the actual World Cup draw yesterday was painful, you should have been watching what I have for the last 45 minutes. But finally, we've got there, and I can tell you England will start their World Cup group stage campaign in the biggest of all the World Cup venues. They will be playing in Dallas in front of 93,000 people against Croatia on June the 17th. I think that's a sensible decision from FIFA because it was either there or Toronto. 45,000 seats available in Toronto. I've just said there, more than 90,000 can cram in to the AT&T Stadium. Second group game for England is against Ghana on June the 23rd. That will take place in the Gillette Stadium in Boston. And then on June the 27th, Thomas Tuchel's side will round off their group campaign against Panama, likely to be the whipping boys of the group, at the MetLife Stadium in New York. And that is where England will hope to return for the final later in the tournament. So Croatia in Dallas to kick us off, Ghana in Boston, and then Panama in the MetLife in New York. Just a quick word on Scotland as well. We know they're going to open up against Haiti in Boston on June the 13th. Set your alarm clocks, though, Scotland fans. That's going to be a 2 a.m. kickoff UK time. Live, of course, on talkSPORT. Scotland, Morocco in Boston on June the 19th. And then what about this for a fixture to round off their group? Scotland against the perennial world champions Brazil at the iconic Hard Rock Stadium in Miami on June the 24th. No doubt the Tartan Army will be out in force for that one.
Crookie, you're a star, mate. Thanks for that breaking news. You've heard it here. Get your tickets booked. England are in Dallas and Boston for the first two games. Wow. Can't wait for that. But let's get back to Gabby. Huge story. And Gabby was there full of it. Gabs, was you at the game? What was you doing? Where was you?
No, Jamie. I wasn't at the game, mate. I wasn't at the game, Jamie. No, I wasn't, mate. But I'll tell you what. Watching the game, Aston Villa were not scared of Arsenal. Unai Emery was not scared of this team. They went at them. Yes, Arsenal had their spell second half. First 10, 15 minutes of the second half. But overall, I thought it was a deserved victory. Maatsen coming for Digne at left back. I thought he dealt with Saka most of the game. I thought Torres and Konsa were outstanding. Kamara, Tielemans in the middle, McGinn. That's what you've got to do against Arsenal. You've got to have a go. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea with 10 men had a go still. Arsenal aren't as good as what people are thinking. They're really not.
Gab, what I really noticed was that Martinez was holding the ball a long time, trying to draw Arsenal out. In fact, in the early part of the game, I'm thinking, why is he holding it so long? Why is he holding it? But obviously, it's a draw to draw them out. And eventually, but you know what? He mixed it up. He went short sometimes and then went long. They went long a lot. Then it turns into second balls. And I felt in the first half, that tactic worked really well for Villa.
Oh, 100%. And that's what you got to do. The Villa likes to do that a lot. You know, fans are on the edge of their seats sometimes because you're playing it back to Martinez. He's waiting for that last second before he's closed down to pick someone off. Can you drop it into Rodgers and he flicks it onto Watkins? But I just felt the whole game, the atmosphere from the Villa fans, this was a game that the players played like they believed they could beat Arsenal. Yes, Arsenal, 2 centre-halves not available, but still, the players they had on the bench to bring on as well. I just feel like Villa are on one, boys. And yes, it's going to be difficult to keep it going with the lack of squad depth. But if we can spend in January somehow and strengthen the squad, why not? What a time to go for it.
Well, you think you can win the league, Gabs?
If we can have money to spend in January, we only spent 30 mil, Jay, the lowest in the Premier League. We spent 30 million in the summer window, the lowest in the Premier League, the lowest. If we can spend in January, strengthen, take Sancho, put him on a coach back to Manchester United, no thank you. If we can get some proper players in, why not, Jay? Why not, mate?
Gab, let me ask you this. I'm glad Jay's asked that question about spending money because the reason you haven't spent money is because of PSR, which I think is an absolute disgrace. You and I, look, I'm of the opinion you spend what you want. You should be able to spend what you want. You fall in that same category, so do Newcastle. Are you looking at this squad now thinking, if you went back 15 years ago, maybe Villa now would be the favourites because of what Chelsea and Man City done previously?
100%. But Jace, we're so close. Do you know what I mean? Look at today's performance. We beat Manchester City. I know both games have been at Villa Park, but this is one of them crazy seasons where if Arsenal start to continue to lose games, Man City aren't the Man City of old. Liverpool are struggling.
You're going to win it, Gab. Gab, you're going to win it.
Gab. We're going to win the double, Jace. Jace, no, listen, guys.
Treble, go treble. Don't go double, Gab.
But
Gab,
seriously,
Gab, go treble.
You can win both.
Treble.
We all rest players for the FA Cup and the do you know what I mean? We want to concentrate on Europa and the Premier League, boys.
Gabby might get a game in the FA Cup. Yeah,
Jamie.
Gabs, look, how's this gone down?
Jay, the hate I've been getting, mate, on social media. I love it, mate. We'll be forever, whatever the weather. My blood will forever. Oh, we love it when Arsenal lose, don't we, boys? Oh, we love it.
Oh, Gabs, what a day for you. You're buzzing. When you on? When you on doing the breakfast?
I'm doing Tuesday, mate, and I want everyone on, Jay. I want Piers Morgan. I want everyone on, mate.
Get them on, mate.
Gab, I'm tuning in.
Steve Bold on. Anyone.
Steve Bold. We've got Steve Bold. Ray Parler, get Razor on.
Yeah, mate. Go and 2 foot them, Gabs.
I'm on it tonight, boys. I'm on it celebrating, boys. I'm in Bournemouth. I'm gonna have a few lads for you. Up the Villa, boys.
Up the Villa.
Gabs, enjoy, mate. Enjoy.
See you in a bit, lads.
All right, take it easy. Gabby Bonglahor there. He promised to come on. He was when I messaged him, mate. He was
he's buzzing.
He was buzzing.
Mate, he was messaging me, messaging you, messaging Sim, the producer. He can't be watching the game. He must be like fingers going up.
Torres with the cross into the box. It's flicked away. Comes back to Cash, and Cash finishes it brilliantly at the far post. There's nothing that Arsenal could do about that.
They're in for a whooping.
Oh, just no. Comes back towards Kamara. There's bodies everywhere. There's limbs everywhere. And it's rifled in by Buendia. Oh, no.
North London forever. Whatever the weather, these streets are our own.
Phone on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie, and Jason Cundy. It feels like a sports bar right now.
I feel like a sports bar.
Arsenal have got beat.
That's saved the Monday.
We'll save that one.
On Monday.
Yeah. Get your calls in. You want to have your say on your team's performance. You've got to go to Steve. He's an Arsenal fan. All right, Steve?
Right, Steve-O.
Yeah, all right, mate. Just obviously very sad. And I've had enough. Enough.
What do you mean you've had enough?
I've had enough, mate. I just don't get it with all these pundits saying what a brilliant job Arteta's done. He's won half an FA Cup. The following year was 12 points clear to get a Champions League spot, and Tottenham beat us. The year after that, he was 8 points clear to win the championships. He failed. The year after that, I think it was 10 points clear to win the championships. Failed, and last year failed. And I just can't see it getting any further. I was looking at it earlier this season. We was lucky against Manchester United and some of the other games, and down to 10 men, and you can't beat 10 men, and you're supposed to be trying to go for the Premiership. It's disgusting. And today's performance as well is disgusting. I just don't see anything.
You're top of the table, positive. Steve.
We're top of the table at the moment. At the moment.
I mean, you're top. You play 15 games, you're top. I know it's a bad day, the obvious, don't get me wrong. And
yeah,
I
personally think this year, if he doesn't win the Premiership or the Champions League, they need to get rid of him. It's easy as that.
But that conversation, Steve, listen, right?
How can you go every year,
Steve,
as a player, and you're failing every year?
Steve-O, look. Mm-hmm. I know you're disappointed, and I get it. Every football fan goes through these emotions, right? And I get it. But you are still top. You still there's a 2-point gap. I know Villa turned you over today, and I felt it was a fair result, right? But
you got to think Chelsea as well.
But Steve-O, calm down, matey. Come on. Come on, Steve.
Do you honestly think Arsenal have got the killing instinct now to win the Premiership?
Steve, look, I've said from the beginning of the season, Arsenal win the title. I still think you win it. I hope I'm wrong.
I think you bottled it.
I hope I'm wrong. I still think you win the title. I think you win the title this year. I think it's your time. The squad's been built. What I think is a little bit concerning is the Matty Cash goal defensively. That doesn't happen if Gabriel or Saliba are there. There's no way that ball bounces to Matty Cash, and that's one of those that doesn't happen. That for me doesn't happen. But I still feel there's enough in the squad depth. There's enough quality. You've spent in the right areas. I hope I'm wrong. I hope City win it. I hope Villa win it. That'd be great. I'd rather Villa win it than.
Oh no, Gav, it'd be unbearable, mate. No,
someone's going to be unbearable.
Yeah, but I don't. Man City, I'm used to Man City. Yeah, it can deal with that.
I don't care.
As long as Arsenal bottle it, would just be great.
As long as Arsenal.
You fans do pipe up a lot, Steve.
Yep.
And it's like you've already won the league the way you're going on. And it's 2 points.
Yeah, you're right. It is 2 points. I understand that, but what I'm trying to get at is the last few games. Yeah, this is now where you got to grit in and say, right, we're Premiership contenders. We've got to go for this, and we've got to grit in.
I don't get it. I don't get this attitude. I don't. It's a bad day in the office. I don't get it.
I think what it is with us, we've been so many years, like everybody says,
scarred,
what a great manager is.
It's scarred.
He spent £1 billion. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know how much. I think it's a bit shy of that.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, but he spent £1 billion. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, the thing is, and he's replaced what he's replaced to get extra cover. Yeah, but we cannot start. How can I say drawing and drawing and drawing? And
when you lost though today.
Yeah, I know we lost today. You know that, but drawing and lost. The key games like Sunderland, draw. Man City, win. Yeah, all these games come in Chelsea.
He does sound worried, actually.
Well, I mean,
sounds worried.
I am worried because my thing is
you ain't beating any of the big boys, are you? That's the problem. Do you know what I mean? You win the title. You got to win some of the. You got to beat some of the big boys. Drew with Man City, lost to Liverpool, lost to Villa, drew with Chelsea.
And you're saying to me, well, hold it, you're still on the table, yeah? Let's face it, Man City had a bad start to the season, yeah? So have Liverpool. Yeah, really and truthfully, if we was that much more of a contender for the Premiership and obviously winning them games, we'd be a lot more points ahead of Liverpool and that, and we're not.
Tight, Steve.
Yeah, Steve. Look, listen, there's a long way to go, that's for sure. But you've allowed everyone back in. Arsenal fans want to hear from you. Villa fans want to hear from you. It is 0-0 between Leeds and Liverpool in the 5:30 game. We will get to Dave Rowe just after the break. Get your calls in 03 717 22 33 44.